I'm joined, and it kind of like feels like you're a veteran guest now, and it's Jordan Banjo. Welcome back, Jordan.
Thank you, man. Always happy to be back. Always happy to chat to you. You know that.
Listen, we've got to get straight into it. You've been here for the past couple of days, but what I will say to you is congratulations on your presenting while the public workout was going on. Absolutely seamless. You was in there like a pro.
Oh, thank you. I won't lie. Do you know what? Being partnered with Darren Barcroft there as well, it makes stuff 10 times easier. He's such a cool dude. I met him for the first time when we did the Yaffai Frank card. It's like we've known each other for years. Really easy to get on with. And, you know, I've done a lot of presenting before. Never boxing presenting. But if you can present and then you've got a passion for something as well, it goes hand in hand. So I'm just having fun doing it, man. So thank you. Thank you.
It definitely shined through. You was like an expert up there, but I've got to get into it because I didn't manage to make the public workout or the presser. I want your feedback on how it is for the main event, because obviously it's a massive event. Jordan Thompson is going in for his very first world title shot, Ring Magazine, IBF, Cruiserweight world title, against a very, very game Jai Opataia.
Yeah, I won't lie to you. It's a really weird one to watch because Jordan Thompson has got this sort of confidence and mindset. It's almost like, and especially where it's in Britain as well, it's almost like he's the champion. The reception he's got, the passion from his team, this and that. The way he talks, you sort of feel like, oh, Jai Opataia's got it all to do. And it's like, no, hang on a minute, mate. It's the other way around here. So you've got to admire that mindset. But I think about Jai Opataia, what he done beating Brady's with a broken jaw, what was it, the third round, something like that. And his work rate, his style. And I go, wow, it's a big ask. The fact that we're here, we're in the UK, you're back in the Brit, you want Jordan to win. But when you actually sit there and you really think about it, you realise how much of a big ask it is. But when they're standing next to each other in these face-offs, I'm like, bro, it looks like a heavyweight fighting a super middleweight. It's ridiculous. The size difference is nuts. But, you know, I think that's we'll see where the champion sort of mindset and the champion sort of skill comes in. How will Jai negate the height, negate the size? What will he do once he's on the inside? He likes fighting on the inside. He's good at those overhand shots. We'll see what happens. But like I said, fingers crossed for Jordan, but it's a big ask.
I like what you said then, and it's something that a lot of people have pointed out is a size difference. But we could have a matter of David and Goliath here. It's not necessarily about the size. What it's going to work down to with these two guys is skill and kind of, in a way, who wants it the most as well.
100%. I mean, I feel like when you're talking about who wants it the most, me and Darren spoke to both guys yesterday. When I spoke to Jordan, like I said, there's this belief there. He speaks about God-given talent. He's worked hard. You know, everything he does, he pours his soul into this, and I believe him. But when I spoke to Jai, it was almost like he's been out for 15 months, right? He had this like look in his eye where like he's speaking and he's composed and like, yeah, you're getting ready for the fight. And then like, I don't know, but like his teeth like grit and he's like, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you're going to do it, man. You're sort of like shuffling away from him because he's like so ready to get in there. I feel like he's got a lot to prove. Obviously, this is a voluntary defence. When he first won the titles, I'm assuming for him, it was a case of, I'll face a mandatory. I want to start unifying. I want to become undisputed. Like everyone has these ideas and it hasn't worked out the way. One with the injury, two with, you know, we all know the Riakporhe and the Masternak and all these things kind of falling through. So that's been a bit delayed for him. I know you can just feel he's ready to get back in there, prove a point, get through Saturday, and then he wants to move on to bigger things. That's the way Jai's seeing this. Jordan Thompson wants to upset all of that and genuinely believes he can do it. And, you know, I keep saying it 1,000%. You want him to do it because you're back in the Brit. I don't know if it's going to happen, but fingers crossed.
And it is literally, we don't know what's going to happen. It all depends on the night. You know, I've spoke to Jordan and I've spoke to him about stuff that he does in the ring that won't help him with Jai. And one of those things is head movements because Jai wants to get inside and he is quite good with his jab. Technically then, we can say who we want to win. We can back the Brit. We can be as biased as we want. But when you look at the two styles, Jordan, what do you see when those styles come together?
Do you know what's difficult? I think let's take the Luke Watkins fight, for example, right, last time out. I think the first couple of rounds, Jordan used his size and his height quite nicely. He kept him at range. He came in, he was picking his shots well. He starts to get involved. Now, let's be real. Luke Watkins, veteran fighter, good fighter. He's not Jai Opataia, right? And he was landing some really good shots on Jordan. Stuff where I was kind of like, whoa. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is turning into a little bit of a war here, you know? Now, obviously, Jordan won the fight. He's always got that power in the bank. There's certain things that, like, because I'll tell you what, Jordan's got good feet when he wants to use them, but he gets quite involved. And I'm like, for someone who is massively taller than a lot of his opponents, someone who can move really well for a big guy, it's weird sometimes to see him so involved, like tucking up this left shoulder and just like going hell for leather on him. And I'm like, you don't need to. With someone like Jai, who, you know, one, loves to be on your chest, loves to be in, like I said, someone who's a bit taller, he loves throwing those overhand shots, it could be a bit of an issue for Jordan. So, you know, we say styles make fights, depending on what sort of fight Jordan wants to make it or try to make it. Everyone keeps talking about his size and his power. There's got to be more of a game plan than that. He's not stupid. Between him and Tony, they know that. They know how big the challenge is. But Jai's going to come here with something to prove and is going to use everything that he's got to make sure he gets the job done. So, who knows?
Speaking of the devil, he's just walking up onto the stage now. But one of the things that we really need to look at as well, and I like what Eddie's done here. Eddie is so strategic when he wants to be. Chevron Clark is going in against Vasyl Ducar, and we know Vasyl dropped Jordan when he won the belt last time out. I'll see what he's doing here, but that's just my opinion. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, like you said, with Vasyl Ducar, he's had some really good opposition. Chris Billum-Smith, obviously Jordan Thompson. We're going to see what happens this Saturday with Chev Clark. Fingers crossed Chev Clark comes through. Just imagine Chev Clark come through. Now, it might be a bit of a long shot. Chev Clark comes through. Jordan Thompson does it. Couple fights time. We're building this domestic scene really nicely, and you're starting to see this new crop come through, because the likes of your Okolis and stuff like that, they're going to move up soon. They'll go into heavyweights. Yeah, well, he can't. Every time I look at the guy, every time I look at him, I'm just like, how are you making cruiserweight? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, he'll move up soon. Obviously, I feel like it's not been with Matchroom massively long, and before that, you know, when you look at Jordan, he punches hard. He's a good-looking guy. He's 6'6". There's every reason he's got 15 fights, 12 knockouts. There's every reason he should be a name. He should be a bit more of a star, especially in Britain, but he's not. And I feel like that's down to not being promoted properly. So now he's with Matchroom. He's on Dazn. He's starting to be built more. Fingers crossed. We see that platform doing good. And, you know, if he does win this weekend, okay, you're being just skyrocketed towards that sort of stardom. If he doesn't win, he can still rebuild, move up to heavyweight and see where we go from there, because Jordan's a good fighter. There's things that can be done with him. So I'm hoping the best for him.
So obviously we've discussed we could go into the main card, but we could take all day on doing that. And I really wanted to break down the main events for the two fights that I'm really looking forward to on the card. Moving forwards with yourself then, you've done a really good job at presenting. You naturally fit in. This is home for you, I see that.
Here he is.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. See, that's the most I'm going to get off him. Every time I ask him for one, oh, no, I'll see you, mate. Anyway.
He's right off.
Yeah. So which cards are you actually looking forward to seeing the most out of this massive schedule that Matchroom and Dazn's got for the rest of 2023?
You know what? You've got to take your hat off to Matchroom, right? This schedule they've got is absolutely ridiculous. For me, Sonny Edwards is my boy. So Sonny versus Bam Rodriguez, I'm super excited for. I was chatting to Sonny yesterday. The guy has me in tears, because he's like, everything's a mind game. I'm friendly this minute, I'm not that minute, I'm doing this, I'm not doing that. He's like, you know, he's quite erratic and all over the place, and then suddenly he's calm, and you're just like, whoa, if you're his opponent and you've got to spend an extended period of time with him, you don't know if he's going to be your best friend or try and injure you before the fight. It's like, what's going on? And he's very good at what he does. He's not just a tactician in the ring, he's a tactician out of it as well. Yeah, and obviously now Haney Prograis as well, December 9th. Very excited for that, to see Devin Haney move up from undisputed. You know, that's going to be an awesome fight. See how that works out. Like, you know, I might sound a bit biased here because everyone takes the mick at me for being an Eddie Hearn fan, but the Matchroom schedule, I'm rivaled.
Well, the thing is, yeah, fair enough, you might be a bit biased, but you've always said you've looked at boxing as a whole, you've looked at the landscape, and these are the shows that you've always been genuinely interested in. You said you were looking forward to coming to work over here. You've sat as an outsider, as a boxing fan, and watched all of them, and this has been your choice. Bias or not, you made that choice because it's your preference.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I always feel like the way Matchroom have, you know, when they left Sky, it was a bit of a reshuffle. Going to Dazn, but knowing that, like, you know, going to Dazn, There's Matchroom Productions handling the whole production of the shows and doing this and doing that. You've got to rate the business acumen and the work and the effort that's gone into it. It's not just about promoting for them; it's an entire business, and I think that really shines through with some of the steps they've made, the fights they're making, and the shows they put on. So, always happy to work with Matchroom and Dazn.
So final predictions then. Is it going to be Opataia or Thompson? Is it going to be And Still or And the New?
Head says And Still, heart says And the New. Jordan, let's get it, bro. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
As always, a pleasure. Jordan, thank you so much for your time. I know you're going to have a busy day ahead. Until the next time.
Thank you very much. Ed, what's happening, bro?